I'm working with Buckey again today. He is such a wonderful dog. Just going to warm him up with some orientation game. He does like working for his food. Some food luring with Buckey this morning. Good. Now we're going to bring out our boundary, which he was so successful at last week, and grow the boundary game just a little bit. Let's see if he remembers where the value is, and if not, we'll remind him. Good boy. Yes, good boy. And then just tossing a treat off to reset him. And see what he chooses to do. I'll take any interaction with the boundary, yes, and that will cause me to sprinkle food. Boy, and get all 4 feet on the boundary like we did last week. Now that he's on the boundary, I just want to slow down my treat delivery. I don't care if he sits or lies down, though ultimately I want him to lie down. I just want there to be lots of value on the boundary. And I'm putting the food on the boundary, so the food is coming from the boundary, not necessarily from my hand. Right, and then I'm going to toss a piece of food to reset him. See what he does. Yes. Again, I took any interaction with the boundary. I wasn't going to hold out for a lot, but he got all 4 paws on there. Perfect. Okay, so slowing down the food delivery is just how fast you deliver it. Also do airplane feeding, which I've done with other shelter dogs. Perfect, he sat, I like that. And then I just feed to the boundary itself. Now if I feed toward his back hip, I might be able to convince him to lie down, which would be wonderful. Yes, that's what I want to see. Good boy. Now, even though I'm jumping for joy on the inside, I want to stay calm, cool, and collected on the outside because for my dog, I want this to be their calm, quiet space. So I want everything about the boundary to be slow and relaxed. Here's a squirrel. And while my dog is on the boundary, I might fiddle with my food, just oops, off the boundary when I drop that piece of hot dog. Just fiddle with the food a little bit. He's staying on the boundary. Nice. That's really, really good to see. So now what we're going to do is introduce a little bit of magic to our boundary games. I call it magic because this is what starts to build value and duration for being on the boundary. It's simply introducing a release word. Now, a release word can be anything you want. I like free, freedom, break, release, something that you don't use in your everyday language. And what that's going to do is give my dog clear communication about when they can come off the boundary. But because I'm going to heavily reinforce the behavior of getting off the boundary when they hear the release cue, it's going to be something that they're going to anticipate and look forward to and be just as valuable to them as staying on the boundary. And then over time, you can grow the duration. So I'm going to use freedom because that's what I use with my dog. Now, initially, he's not going to have any idea what that word means, but I'm going to say the word, pause, toss a piece of food. That will get him off the boundary. If he gets back on the boundary, great. I'll reinforce him, and then we'll repeat. So this is what it looks like. Got some hot dogs there. You ready? Freedom. So I said the release cue, tossed a piece of food. So now I'll see if he gets back on the boundary. And if he tries to get the food in my hand, I'm just going to keep my hand still. It's like, yeah, this food is none of your business. That's not where the value is. The value's on the boundary. Yes, good boy. And even though he didn't put all 4 paws on, it's still early, and I want to reinforce that choice to step on the boundary. We'll see if he'll put his back paws on. And if not, I'm going to toss a piece of food that way so that he can come and it'll make it easier for him to come and step on the boundary. So I will say my release cue, freedom, and toss the food. There we go. Another second to see if he will put the rest of his feet on the boundary. No, maybe not. And that's okay. I will just start reinforcing again. Okay. And we'll just slow it down again. Get a sit or down. Going to give my release cue, freedom, and toss it. Good boy. Good boy. Now we're going to take a break after this, just because for most dogs, a training session that goes on for 10 or 15 minutes can be too long, and I want to make sure I leave him wanting more. So I'm just going to go back to heavily reinforcing on the boundary. But airplane feeding. Nice. And I'm going to feed to his back leg. And there we go. I'm just going to enjoy this. I will give my release cue in just a few seconds, and then I'm going to put the boundary away. Good job. You is a starting. Freedom. Okay, ready? Freedom. Boy. Good job, Buckey. You did good this week. You did good. We're going to teach Buckey to come into the middle. Here we go. Feed. Get off of this. Learn to move his body. Yes. There you go. There you go. Good job. And then I just like to feed in this position because that's where the value is. See if I can get him to come all the way. There we go. And straighten out. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, ready? Now, we'll try that in the other direction. Yes, we are. Reinforce those offered sits. Good job. Okay, Buckey. There you go. Good. Well, we've got the beginnings of middle. That's really good to see. While we're doing that, we'll try his spin and his turn. Nose toward tail. Oh, good boy. Look at you. Who's just a natural. Okay. Around. Good job. Good job. All right, let's try that the other way. We'll offer another sip. Look at you. Look at you. Yeah. Oh, yeah, look at you. Good job. And more this way. So the secret to getting your dog to follow a food lure is to keep your hand right on their nose. Good boy. Good boy. And once they're good at the behavior, I will remove the food from my hand. But this is a great way to get it started. One more the other direction. Yeah, you are a natural. Look at you go. All right, Buckey. Good job. Good job, mister. Good job. All right, all done.